Everything has a price, even betrayal.
I woke up to my phone buzzing like an angry hornet. 23 missed calls, 47 text messages, and counting. My first thought was, someone died. My second thought, after reading the first message from my sister, was that I wished someone had. Ethan, what the heck is going on with Vanessa's Facebook? Relics over, expecting to find my wife of 8 years next to me. Empty bed, still warm. The shower wasn't running. Her car keys were gone from the hook by the kitchen door. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was my mother. Honey, I'm so sorry. We're all thinking of you. Patriotism. Sorry for what? I opened Facebook with shaking fingers, dreading whatever I was about to find. It didn't take long. Vanessa's post was at the top of my feed, shared by half the town already. The photo showed her wrapped around Travis Morgan, her ex-boyfriend from high school, both of them grinning like idiots in what looked like his crappy apartment. She was wearing the diamond necklace I'd given her for our anniversary last month. The caption made my stomach drop. Finally found my way home. Sometimes your heart knows where it belongs. Hashtag new beginnings. Hashtag home is where the heart is. Hashtag sorry not sorry. 237 comments already. I scrolled through them, watching my life implode in real time. Her friends were cheering her on. My friends were asking if I was okay. Her family was surprisingly quiet, except for her Aunt Linda, who'd written, Vanessa Marie, what have you done? My phone rang. Travis's name on the screen. Ethan, man, I know this looks bad. Aro. Looks bad? I laughed, surprising myself with how normal I sounded. Travis, it looks like my wife just announced to the entire town that she's screwing her ex-boyfriend. How exactly should it look? Look, we didn't plan this. It just happened. You know how these things go. No, actually, I don't. See, I've been married for 8 years. Faithful for 8 years. Working 60-hour weeks to pay for the house she wanted, the car she wanted, the life she wanted. So no, I don't know how these things go. Come on, don't be like that. We're all adults here. I hung up and immediately opened my laptop. If Vanessa wanted to make our private business public, I could play that game too. Within an hour, I had listings posted on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and eBay. Every piece of jewelry I'd ever bought her, her designer purses, her clothes, the BMW I was still making payments on. Everything with a price tag and a brutally honest description. Diamond tennis bracelet, $2,000, bought for cheating wife's birthday. She preferred her ex-boyfriend's cheap gifts. Your gain, my loss. Michael Kors purse collection, $500 for all. Wife decided she needed a different kind of baggage. These are in excellent condition, unlike our marriage. Negligence. 2022 BMW X3, $35,000. Low mileage, high maintenance. Just like the woman who drove it. Title in hand, ready to transfer to someone who appreciates loyalty. Standing ending again. This time it was Vanessa. Ethan, what the heck are you doing? Take those posts down right now. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. I'm just following your lead. You made our business public, so I figured I'd do the same. This is different. You're embarrassing me. I'm embarrassing you? I couldn't help but laugh. Vanessa, you posted a picture of yourself in bed with another man. On Facebook. Where my mother could see it. Where your grandmother could see it. Where everyone we know could see it. But I'm embarrassing you? Trembling. That's not the same thing. You're right. It's not. See, when I sell your stuff, at least someone gets something useful out of it. She was crying now, but I felt nothing. 8 years of marriage, and I felt absolutely nothing for her tears. Please, Ethan, we can work this out. We can go to counseling. Counseling? I pulled up her Facebook post again, now at over 400 comments. You think we need counseling? I think we need a divorce lawyer. I hung up and went back to my listings. The messages were already pouring in. Apparently, half the town wanted to buy my cheating wife's belongings. Mrs. Phelan from next door had already claimed the jewelry box. My buddy Mike from the Black Lantern wanted the BMW for his daughter. My phone buzzed with a text from my sister. Mom's worried about you. Are you okay? Relinquick back. Never better. Having a garage sale. Everything must go. By noon, my driveway looked like a festival. Cars lined the street as people came to see the spectacle and maybe pick up a bargain. I dragged everything out onto tables, priced to move. Vanessa's wedding dress hung from the basketball hoop with a sign. Size 8 wedding gown, worn once, never again. $50 or best offer. Mrs. Phelan bought 3 purses and the jewelry box, counting out cash with obvious glee. That girl never deserved you, Ethan. Everyone knew it. Everyone except me, apparently. Oh, honey, we all saw this coming. The way she'd flirt with Travis at the grocery store, the way she'd light up when his name came up. Some women just can't be satisfied with a good man. A car pulled up, and my heart sank. Vanessa's Aunt Linda climbed out, her face thunderous. Behind her came Vanessa's cousin Rachel and her friend Tina, the one who filmed everything for her Instagram. Ethan Michael Dorsey, what do you think you're doing? Linda marched up to me like a general inspecting troops. Spring cleaning, Linda. Getting rid of some things I don't need anymore. These are Vanessa's belongings. Were Vanessa's belongings. Now they're merchandise. I gestured to the crowd of happy shoppers. Business is booming, actually. Riep stepped forward, her phone already recording. This is so petty, Ethan. You're just trying to hurt her because she found someone who makes her happy. Happy? I picked up the wedding dress and held it toward the camera. This is what happy looks like, Rachel? Your cousin threw away 8 years of marriage for a guy who still lives in the same apartment he had in high school. If that's happiness, I'd hate to see misery. Tina giggled nervously. Come on, Ethan. Don't you think you're being a little dramatic? Dramatic? I walked over to my laptop and turned it around so they could see Vanessa's Facebook post, now approaching 600 comments. You want to see dramatic? Your friend announced her affair to the entire world. I'm just having a yard sale. Trimming, grabbed for the wedding dress. You have no right. Actually, I have every right. I paid for it. I paid for all of this. I gestured to the tables full of merchandise. 8 years of working overtime. 8 years of yes, dear, and whatever you want, dear, and of course we can afford it, dear. Well, guess what? Now I can't afford it, so it's gotta go. A pickup truck pulled up and Travis climbed out. This was about to get interesting. He swaggered over like he owned the place, chest puffed out, trying to look tough in front of the crowd. Ethan, this has gone far enough. Give Vanessa her stuff back. The entire yard sale went quiet. Even Mrs. Phelan stopped counting her change. Her stuff? I laughed, loud enough for everyone to hear. Travis, my friend, this isn't her stuff anymore. This is inventory. And business is good. You can't just sell someone else's belongings. Plumbing. Watch me. I turned to the crowd. Everything must go, folks. Make me an offer. The cheater's special. Buy one piece of my wife's old life. Get my blessing for free. Someone in the crowd actually applauded. Travis's face went red. You're being a real a-hole about this, Ethan. Am I? Let me tell you what an a-hole looks like, Travis. I stepped closer, my voice carrying to every person in the yard. An a-hole sleeps with a married woman. An a-hole helps her humiliate her husband on social media. An a-hole shows up at that husband's house and demands he give back the things he bought with his own money. Travis took a step back. He'd always been big on talk, short on action. But you know what's really funny, Travis? I'm not even mad at you. You're just being yourself. A loser who peaked in high school and never got over it. I'm mad at myself for not seeing what everyone else apparently saw coming. I turned back to Linda. You want to know what's dramatic? Your niece didn't just cheat on me. She flaunted it. She made sure everyone we know would see it. She wanted to humiliate me. I gestured to the crowd of neighbors and friends, all watching this unfold. Well, congratulations. Mission accomplished. Ethan, please. Linda's voice was softer now. She's family. She made a mistake, but she's still family. She was my family too, Linda. For 8 years, she was my family, and she threw it away for him. I pointed at Travis, who was backing toward his truck. So now she's your family's problem. I'm done. Relinquish. My phone rang. Vanessa again. I answered it on speaker. Ethan's Everything Must Go Emporium. How can I help you? She stopped this right now. Come home so we can talk. Relinquish. I am home, sweetheart. You're the one who left, remember? You're the one who found a new home with Travis. Nelson. It's complicated. No, it's really not. You cheated. You announced it to the world. Now I'm selling your stuff. It's actually pretty simple. Those are my things. Windshield. Were your things. Past tense. Mrs. Phelan just bought your jewelry box. Mike's coming back this afternoon with a trailer for the BMW. Oh, and that young couple from Elm Street? They're taking the wedding dress. They seem really happy together. It's sweet, actually. The line went quiet except for her sobbing. Vanessa, you wanted everyone to know you'd moved on. Well, congratulations. So have I. Hung up and looked around at the crowd. Half of them were staring at me with sympathy, the other half with barely concealed excitement at witnessing the drama. All right, folks, show's over, but the sale continues. Everything priced to move. Linda gathered up Rachel and Tina, shooting me one last disgusted look. This isn't over, Ethan. Relinquish. Yes, it is, Linda. It's completely over. As they drove away, Mrs. Phelan sidled up to me. You know, dear, I never liked that girl. Too fancy for her own good. You're better off without her. Thanks, Mrs. Phelan. Want to buy a toaster? It makes perfect toast for one. She laughed and patted my arm. You're going to be just fine, honey. Just fine. I looked around at my front yard, covered with the remnants of my marriage, surrounded by neighbors and strangers, picking through the pieces of my old life. My phone was still buzzing with messages. My Facebook post had hundreds of comments, and somewhere across town, my wife was probably crying in her ex-boyfriend's arms. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. The yard sale lasted 3 days. By the end, I'd sold everything except Vanessa's wedding ring, which I kept in my pocket like a talisman. The BMW went to Mike's daughter for college. The jewelry went to various neighbors who'd always admired it. Even the wedding dress found a home with a young couple who couldn't afford a new one. I was sitting in my empty living room, eating takeout Chinese food off paper plates, when Vanessa showed up. She looked terrible. Her hair was unwashed, her makeup smeared, and she was wearing the same clothes from her Facebook photo. She let herself in with her key like she still lived here. We need to talk. No, we really don't. I didn't look up from my lo mein. But since you're here, you should know I changed the locks tomorrow, and I'm keeping the security deposit on your car lease. Ragazzo, please. I know I screwed up. Screwed up? I finally looked at her. Vanessa, you didn't forget to pay a bill or burn dinner. You had an affair and announced it on social media. That's not screwing up. That's making a choice. Shields. She sat down across from me, uninvited. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Ragazzo happened. Were you planning to ease me into it? Maybe start with hand-holding photos and work your way up to bedroom shots? Don't be cruel. Clang? I laughed. I sold your stuff at a yard sale. You destroyed our marriage on Facebook. I think we have different definitions of cruel. She was crying again, but I was immune to it now. Funny how quickly 8 years of conditioning could disappear. I need a favor. That got my attention. You need a favor? From me? It's about Travis's son, Tyler. He's 8. His mom is deployed overseas, and Travis has custody, but... What? But Travis isn't good with kids, and Tyler's been having a hard time since his parents' divorce. And now with me in the picture, it's even more complicated. I stared at her. Are you seriously asking me to babysit your boyfriend's kid? Unrestricted, it's not babysitting, it's just... Travis has to work, and I have to work. And Tyler needs someone stable to watch him after school and on weekends. Someone stable. I repeated the words slowly. You mean someone like a husband? Someone reliable? Someone who pays his bills on time and shows up when he says he will? Ethan, please. Why me, Vanessa? Why not your sister? Your mom? Any of the friends who were cheering you on in those Facebook comments? Because Tyler likes you. Remember when Travis brought him to the barbecue last summer? Tyler spent the whole time following you around, asking you about your tools and your car. I did remember. The kid had been fascinated by everything. asking a million questions about how things worked. His dad had spent the entire party drinking beer and hitting on Vanessa while I entertained his son. So let me get this straight. You want me to take care of your boyfriend's kid while you two play house? It's not like that. What's it like then? She wiped her eyes, smearing her mascara even more. Tyler's confused. He doesn't understand why his mom is gone, why his dad is with me instead of trying to get her back. He's acting out at school, getting in fights. And you think spending time with his dad's girlfriend's ex-husband is going to help with that confusion? I think spending time with a decent man who won't yell at him or ignore him might help, yes. I studied her face. This was either the most manipulative thing she'd ever tried, or she was genuinely worried about this kid. What's in it for me? I'll pay you. $50 a day. I don't want your money, Vanessa. Then what do you want? I thought about it. What did I want? I wanted my wife back, but that woman was gone. I wanted my marriage back, but that was over. I wanted to hurt her the way she'd hurt me, but the yard sale had only been the beginning of that satisfaction. I want you to admit it. Admit what? That you've been cheating on me for months. That this wasn't some sudden thing that just happened. That you planned this. She looked away. Ethan, admit it, and I'll watch the kid. Fine, yes. It's been going on for 3 months. Are you happy now? 3 months. I thought about the last 3 months. All the times she'd been working late. All the times she'd been tired or had a headache. All the times she'd been distant and distracted. I'd thought she was stressed about work. How long have you been planning to leave me? I wasn't planning to leave you. I was just confused. Confused about what? About whether I married the right person. That hit harder than I'd expected. And now you know? I don't know anything anymore. Travis isn't who I thought he was. He's irresponsible and selfish, and he treats Tyler like an inconvenience. But you're staying with him. I don't have anywhere else to go. You sold all my stuff, remember? And I can't go back to my family after what I did. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. So you want me to babysit while you figure out your life? I want you to help a little boy who didn't ask for any of this. She was smart, I'd give her that. She knew exactly how to get to me. Bring him over tomorrow after school. We'll see how it goes. Really? Really? But Vanessa, this doesn't change anything between us. I'm still filing for divorce. I'm still keeping the house. And if you ever post anything about me on social media again, I'll make that yard sale look like a warm-up act. She nodded and headed for the door. Thank you, Ethan. This means a lot. Don't thank me yet. You haven't seen my babysitting rates for homewreckers' kids. She actually smiled a little at that. What are your rates? I'll let you know. After she left, I sat in my empty living room and wondered what the heck I just agreed to. Taking care of my wife's boyfriend's son while they played house seemed like the definition of pathetic. But then I thought about Tyler, 8 years old and caught in the middle of his parents' divorce and his father's affair. I remembered how he'd followed me around at that barbecue, hungry for attention from an adult who actually listened to him. Maybe I was being pathetic. Or maybe I was being strategic. Because if I was going to destroy Travis Morgan, I needed to know everything about him. And who better to teach me his weaknesses than his own son? I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer. Jim, it's Ethan Dorsey. I need to ask you some questions about child custody laws. Tyler showed up the next day with a backpack full of homework and a black eye. What happened to your face, buddy? Not meeting my eyes. Got in a fight at school. Want to talk about it? Not really. I made him a snack and set him up at the kitchen table with his homework while I pretended to work on my laptop. Really, I was watching him, trying to figure out what was going on in his 8-year-old head. He was a good kid, polite and quiet, but there was an anger in him that reminded me of myself at that age. My parents had divorced when I was 9, and I'd spent years bouncing between houses, never quite belonging anywhere. Tyler, can I ask you something? He looked up from his math worksheet. I guess. How long has your dad been dating Vanessa? Since before Christmas. But they told me they were just friends. 4 months, not 3. Vanessa had lied even when she was confessing. How do you feel about that? He shrugged again. I don't like her. Why not? She's always trying to act like my mom, and she makes Dad different. Different how? Meaner. He yells more now, and he doesn't want to do stuff with me anymore because he's always with her. I felt a familiar rage building in my chest, but I kept my voice calm. What kind of stuff did you used to do together? We'd go fishing sometimes, or to baseball games. But now he says he's too busy. Too busy for his own son? Tyler's eyes filled with tears. He says I'm old enough to take care of myself, but I'm only 8. I wanted to drive over to Travis's apartment and punch him in his stupid face. Instead, I closed my laptop and sat down next to Tyler. You know what? I think you're plenty old enough to learn some new things. Want to see my workshop? His face lit up for the first time since he'd arrived. Really? I spent the next 2 hours teaching Tyler how to use basic tools, how to measure twice and cut once, how to sand wood until it was smooth as glass. He was a natural, patient and careful, asking good questions and listening to the answers. My dad doesn't have any tools, he said, carefully hammering a nail into a piece of scrap wood. He says real men pay other people to fix things. Well, your dad and I have different philosophies about that. What's a philosophy? It's what you believe about how things should work. I believe a man should be able to take care of his own stuff. Your dad believes in paying someone else to do it. Which one is right? Depends on what kind of man you want to be when you grow up. Tyler considered this while he hammered another nail. I want to be like you. Hit me right in the chest. This kid barely knew me, but he'd already figured out that I was more of a father figure than his actual father. Tyler, can I ask you something else? Sure. Does your dad ever bring other ladies around? Before Vanessa, I mean? Sometimes, but they never stayed very long. Dad says women are too much trouble. But he's with Vanessa now. Yeah, but he complains about her all the time. He says she's expensive and needy and talks too much. Interesting. Trouble in paradise already. What does he complain about? Everything. She wants to go out to fancy restaurants, but Dad says they're a waste of money. She wants him to dress better, but he likes his old clothes. She wants to move in together, but Dad says his apartment is too small. She wants to move in with him? Yeah, but Dad says he's not ready for that kind of commitment. He says he likes his freedom. I filed that information away. So Vanessa was pushing for more than Travis was willing to give. That was useful. Tyler, I need you to promise me something. What? Don't tell your dad or Vanessa about our conversations, okay? This is just between us guys. Why? Because sometimes adults get upset when kids repeat things they've heard. It's not your fault, but it can cause problems. He nodded solemnly. I won't tell. Good man. Worked in the shop until Vanessa came to pick him up. Tyler hugged me goodbye, which surprised us both. Can I come back tomorrow? He asked. If it's okay with your dad and Vanessa. It's fine, Vanessa said quickly. Tyler, go wait in the car. After he left, she turned to me. Thank you. He seems happier already. He's a good kid. You know he got that black eye defending you. What? Some kid at school said something about seeing his dad's girlfriend on Facebook. Tyler punched him. Vega's face crumpled. Oh, God. I never thought about how this would affect him. Didn't you? Because it seems like you thought about everything else. The timing, the photo, the caption. You wanted maximum impact. I was angry at you. Why? What did I ever do to you besides love you and work my A off to give you everything you wanted? She didn't have an answer for that. Vanessa, that kid in there thinks you're going to be his new mom. He thinks you and Travis are going to get married and be a family. Are you? I don't know. Well, you better figure it out, because he's already been through one divorce. He doesn't need another abandonment. She nodded and headed for the car. I watched her drive away with Tyler waving at me from the passenger seat. Then I went inside and called my lawyer again. Jim, it's Ethan. I need to know more about those custody laws we discussed. Specifically, what happens when a parent abandons their child with a non-relative for extended periods? How extended are we talking? Let's say hypothetically, every day after school and most weekends. That could be considered abandonment, depending on the circumstances. Why? Just curious. Oh, and Jim, start drawing up those divorce papers. I want this done fast and clean. Any particular reason for the rush? I looked out the window at my empty driveway, thinking about Tyler's black eye and his father's complaints about Vanessa being too expensive and needy. Let's just say, I have a feeling my wife's new relationship isn't going to last as long as she thinks it is. And when it falls apart, I want to be ready. Ready for what? To make sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. 2 weeks into babysitting Tyler, I had learned more about Travis Morgan than his own mother probably knew. The kid was a goldmine of information, and he didn't even realize it. Travis was broke, behind on rent, behind on child support to Tyler's mom, living off credit cards and charm. He'd been fired from his real estate job for falsifying documents and was now working part-time at a car dealership, making barely enough to cover his expenses. Vanessa was supporting him, paying for dinners, clothes, even his rent some months. She thought she was investing in their future together. He thought she was a convenient sugar mama. Dad says Vanessa's like a bank that doesn't charge interest, Tyler had mentioned while we were building a birdhouse. I asked him what that meant, and he said I'd understand when I was older. I understood perfectly. Travis was using my wife the same way he'd probably used every other woman in his life. The difference was, Vanessa had actual money to steal. Tyler, does your dad ever talk about marrying Vanessa? He says marriage is a scam invented by jewelry companies. But Vanessa keeps showing him rings online. Pruitt. Wow. She'd blown up her marriage for a man who had no intention of marrying her. The more I learned, the more my plan crystallized. I wasn't just going to destroy Travis. I was going to let him destroy himself, and I was going to make sure Vanessa had a front row seat for the show. It started with small things. I mentioned to Tyler that his dad seemed stressed about money, and maybe Tyler could help by being extra good and not asking for expensive things. Tyler, being 8 and wanting to please his father, took this to heart and started refusing treats and toys when Travis offered them. Tyler doesn't want anything, Travis complained to Vanessa, according to Tyler's innocent reports. It's like he doesn't trust me to provide for him. I also started teaching Tyler about responsibility and honesty, values his father clearly lacked. When Tyler mentioned that his dad had lied to a customer at the car lot, I explained why lying was wrong and how it could hurt people. But everyone lies sometimes, Tyler said. Do they? I've never lied to you. Has your mom ever lied to you? No. Then not everyone lies. Some people choose to tell the truth, even when it's hard. Simmons absorbed this lesson and started applying it at home, innocently correcting his father's lies and exaggerations. Travis found this embarrassing and started snapping at the kid more often. Meanwhile, I was documenting everything. Every time Tyler came to my house with a bruise or a story about being yelled at, every time he mentioned being left alone while Travis and Vanessa went out, every time he was dropped off hungry or dirty or upset, I wasn't just babysitting anymore. I was building a case. 3 weeks in, Tyler showed up with more than just homework in his backpack. "What's this, buddy?" I asked, pulling out a stack of papers. Dad told me to throw them away, but I thought maybe they were important. They were very important. Past due rent notices, credit card bills, a summons for unpaid child support. Travis had been using his 8-year-old son as a garbage disposal for his financial problems. "Tyler, did your dad tell you not to tell anyone about these papers? He said they were boring grown-up stuff and I should forget about them. But you brought them to me. You said I could always talk to you about anything. Are these something?" "They're something, all right." I made copies of everything before Tyler left that day, then tucked the originals back into his backpack. I didn't want Travis to know they were missing yet. That weekend, Tyler didn't come over. Vanessa called to say they were taking him to the zoo, trying to be a family. I used the free time to do some research. Travis Morgan had quite a history. 3 previous jobs in real estate, all ending badly. 2 restraining orders from ex-girlfriends. A DUI from last year that he'd somehow kept off his record. A pattern of moving apartments every year or 2, usually just ahead of eviction notices. My wife had excellent taste in men. Monday afternoon, Tyler arrived with a split lip. "What happened?" "I fell off my bike." but he wouldn't look at me when he said it. And there was no scrape on his knees or hands, nothing to indicate a bike accident. "Tyler, did someone hit you?" My bike," he repeated, but his eyes filled with tears. I knelt down to his level. "Buddy, I need you to tell me the truth. Did your dad hit you?" "That he didn't mean to. He's just angry. He was just mad because I spilled juice on his car seat. He said sorry after," relinquins. My hands were shaking as I got ice for his lip. "Has he hit you before?" "Sometimes, when I'm bad. But Vanessa told him he shouldn't, so now he tries not to." "What did Vanessa say exactly?" "She said hitting kids was wrong, and if he couldn't control his temper, maybe he shouldn't have custody." Dad got really mad at her for saying that. I took pictures of Tyler's lip with my phone, making sure to get the timestamp. Then I called my lawyer. "Jim, I need to report suspected child misuse. What's the process?" "Are you sure about this, Ethan?"
False accusations can backfire.
"I'm sure, and I have documentation." "Then you need to call Child Protective Services. But be prepared for this to get messy." I looked at Tyler, carefully doing his homework at my kitchen table, his split lip making it hard for him to concentrate. "It's already messy, Jim. I'm just trying to clean it up." After Tyler left that day, I sat in my workshop and thought about what I was doing. Was I helping this kid? Or was I using him to get revenge on his father and my wife? Maybe it was both. Maybe that was okay. Because Tyler deserved better than a father who hit him, and a stepmother in training who was too wrapped up in her own drama to protect him. He deserved stability and safety, and someone who put his needs first. He deserved what I'd never had at his age, an adult who gave a crap. I picked up my phone and dialed CPS. "I'd like to report suspected child misuse." The wheels of justice moved slowly, but they moved. Within a week, Travis was being investigated. Within 2 weeks, Tyler's mother was contacted overseas and informed of the situation. Within 3 weeks, emergency custody arrangements were being discussed. Travis had no idea the storm that was coming. He was too busy fighting with Vanessa about money and responsibility and commitment to notice that his world was about to collapse. But I noticed. I was counting on it. The CPS investigation hit Travis like a freight train. He called me, screaming, convinced I was behind it. "You son of a witch, you reported me." "Reported you for what, Travis?" "Don't play dumb. Someone called CPS about Tyler, and I know it was you." "Why would I do that? I like Tyler. If anything happened to him, I'd be concerned." "This is about Vanessa, isn't it? You can't stand that she chose me over you," which seemed to infuriate him more. "Travis, if you think Vanessa chose you, you're even dumber than I thought. What's that supposed to mean? Instead, she didn't choose you. She ran away from me. There's a difference. And judging by what I hear, she's already regretting it." That hit home. "You don't know what you're talking about." "Don't I? Tyler tells me you two fight all the time. About money, about commitment, about the future. He says you told him marriage is a scam, and Vanessa is too expensive to keep around long term. That kid talks too much. That kid trusts me, which is more than I can say about his relationship with you." Travis hung up, but I knew he'd be back. Desperate men always came back. Sure enough, he showed up at my house that evening, drunk and belligerent. "We need to settle this man to man," he slurred, swaying on my front porch. "There's nothing to settle, Travis. You won. You got the girl. Congratulations. Don't mock me." "I'm not mocking you. I'm stating facts. You wanted Vanessa. You got her. You wanted to break up my marriage. You succeeded. You wanted to humiliate me in front of the whole town. Mission accomplished. What more do you want?" "I want you to call off CPS." "Longest. I can't call off CPS. Once a report is filed, it's out of my hands." "Mantras, then tell them it was a mistake." "Was it a mistake? Did you hit Tyler or not?" Listeners, he looked away. "It was just a tap. Kids need discipline." Control. A tap that split his lip. Emil. He was being disrespectful. Relinquith. 66. He's 8 years old, Travis. He spilled juice. That's what 8-year-olds do. You don't understand. You don't have kids. No, I don't. But I know the difference between discipline and misuse, and I know Tyler deserves better. Better like you? Is that what this is about? You want to steal my son the way I stole your wife? Relinquiffs. The irony was beautiful. I didn't steal your wife, Travis. She threw herself at me. There's a difference. Bus, Thane, ask her. Ask her who initiated the affair. Ask her who pushed for it to go public. Ask her who's been paying your rent. His face went white. She told you that? Relinquix. She didn't have to. Tyler mentioned you were broke. It wasn't hard to figure out the rest. Relieved. You're lying. Windshield. Am I? When's the last time you paid for dinner? When's the last time you bought her a gift with your own money? When's the last time you did anything for her that didn't benefit you more? Tried to take a swing at me, but he was too drunk and I was ready for it. I stepped aside and let him stumble past me into my porch railing. Go home, Travis. Sleep it off. And stay away from Tyler until CPS clears you. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. You just don't know it yet. Staggered back to his car, and I called the police to report a drunk driver. They picked him up 2 blocks from my house. DUI number 2. This one wouldn't disappear from his record. The next morning, Vanessa called. Travis is in jail. Shell, I heard. Drunk driving is a serious offense. Did you call the police on him? Dismissed. I called to report a drunk driver who just threatened me on my own property. The fact that it was Travis is just a coincidence. Stop lying, Ethan. I know you're behind all of this. Behind what? Travis getting drunk? Travis threatening me? Travis hitting his own son? Which part of that is my fault? You know what I mean. No, I really don't. Explain it to me. Shall. She was quiet for a long moment. He says you're trying to destroy him. Linkf. I don't need to destroy him, Vanessa. He's doing a fine job of that himself. I'm just documenting it. Why? Because someone needs to look out for Tyler. And since his father is more interested in getting drunk, and his future stepmother is more interested in playing house, I guess that someone is me. You don't care about Tyler. You're just using him to get back at us. You're right. I am using him. I'm using him as an excuse to do what I should have done months ago. Make sure a child is safe from an abusive father and his enabler girlfriend. I'm not an enabler. Aren't you? You knew Travis hit Tyler. Tyler told me you said it was wrong. But did you report it? Did you leave? Did you protect that child in any way? It's complicated. No, it's not. You chose your boyfriend over a child's safety. That's not complicated. That's just wrong. She hung up, but she called back an hour later. Travis wants to make a deal. What kind of deal? He'll give you the divorce without fighting it. Clean break, no alimony, no property disputes. In exchange, you drop the CPS complaint and stop interfering in our lives. He's not in a position to make deals, Vanessa. What do you mean? I mean he's facing his second DUI, a CPS investigation, and a custody hearing. Tyler's mother is flying back from overseas to collect her son. Travis is about to lose everything, including you. Not true. Is it? How much money have you spent on him in the last 4 months? How much of your savings is gone? How much debt have you taken on to keep him afloat? He's using you, Vanessa, the same way he's used every other woman in his life. The only difference is you had more money to steal. You're wrong. Am I? Ask him about the restraining orders. Ask him about the other jobs he was fired from. Ask him about the child support he owes Tyler's mother. How do you know about that? Because I pay attention. Because I do research. Because I actually care about the people in my life instead of just using them. I never used you. You used me for 8 years, Vanessa. I was your safety net, your financial security, your backup plan. You kept me around until something better came along. Well, congratulations. You found something better. How's that working out for you? She was crying again, but this time I felt no sympathy at all. Ethan, please. I know I hurt you, but Travis is all I have now. If he goes to jail, if he loses Tyler, I'll have nothing. You'll have exactly what you chose. Freedom from a boring, reliable husband who loved you. Wasn't that what you wanted? I made a mistake. It's time to deal with the consequences. Can't we work this out? Can't we go back to how things were? I looked around my empty house. Thought about Tyler's split lip and Travis's drunken threats and Vanessa's Facebook post that had started this whole mess. No, Vanessa, we can't. Because I'm not the same man I was 4 months ago. That man was naive enough to think his wife loved him. That man was stupid enough to believe in happily ever after. That man is gone. Then you now. I'm the man who's going to make sure Tyler is safe. I'm the man who's going to make sure Travis faces consequences for his actions. And I'm the man who's going to make sure you understand that choices have prices. What does that mean? It means, buckle up, sweetheart. This ride is just getting started. I hung up and immediately called my lawyer. Jim, how's that divorce paperwork coming? Almost ready. But Ethan, are you sure about this approach? It's pretty scorched earth. Unfinished. Good. I want it to be. I want everyone in this town to know what happens when you cross me. And if it backfires? How about Tyler? Probably sitting in some social worker's office right now, scared and confused. I thought about Vanessa, finally realizing that her dream man was actually a nightmare. I thought about Travis, sitting in a jail cell, facing the consequences of his choices for the first time in his adult life. It won't backfire, Jim, because I'm not the one who lit the match. I'm just making sure the fire burns everything it's supposed to burn. And what about you? What do you get out of all this? Profitability, justice, and maybe a little peace. Is it worth it? I looked at the photo on my phone. Tyler's split lip, time-stamped and documented. Evidence of a grown man's failure to protect an innocent child. Ask me when it's over. Mother, Staff Sergeant Maria Santos, arrived from Germany on a Thursday. By Friday, she had temporary custody of her son and a restraining order against Travis. By Monday, she was sitting in my living room, thanking me for protecting Tyler. He talks about you constantly, she said. You've been more of a father to him in the last month than Travis has been in years. He's a good kid. He deserves better. He does, and I'm going to make sure he gets it. She paused, studying my face. But that's not why you did this, is it? I liked her directness. No, it's not. You wanted to hurt Travis and your ex-wife. Yes, and my son was a convenient tool. Your son was an innocent victim who needed protection. The fact that protecting him also destroyed the people who hurt me was just a bonus. Sheila nodded slowly. I can respect that, as long as Tyler wasn't harmed in the process. Tyler was being harmed before I got involved. I just documented it and made sure someone with authority knew about it. The social worker says you have extensive records. Photos, dates, witness statements, everything admissible in court. You're thorough. I'm motivated. Smiled grimly. Travis always was a bastard. I should have known better than to have a child with him. We all make mistakes. The important thing is learning from them. What about your wife? What's her story? I told her about the affair, the Facebook post, the yard sale, everything. She listened without judgment, occasionally asking clarifying questions. So she enabled Travis's misuse of Tyler? She knew about it and did nothing to stop it. In my book, that makes her complicit. And now? Now she's about to learn what it feels like to lose everything. As if summoned by our conversation, my phone rang. Vanessa. Don't answer it, Maria said. Let her sweat. But I was curious. Vanessa, what can I do for you? Travis is being evicted. He lost his job. His lawyer says he might go to jail. Sounds like he's having a rough week. Is all your fault? No, this is all his fault. And yours. I just made sure there were consequences. You destroyed our lives. You destroyed your own lives. I just refused to help you rebuild them. What do you want, Ethan? What will it take for you to stop? I looked at Maria, who was listening to every word. I want Tyler to be safe. That's all I've ever wanted. Tyler is safe. He's with his mother now. That's right, he is. Which means my work here is done. What about us? What about Travis and me? What about you? We have nothing left. No money, no home, no future. Welcome to consequences, Vanessa. Population, you. Please, Ethan, I'm begging you, help us. Help you? The way you helped me when you were cheating on me? The way you helped Tyler when Travis was hitting him? The way you helped our marriage when you decided to blow it up on social media? I was angry. So am I. The difference is, I channeled my anger into something productive. I protected a child and exposed two adults who didn't deserve the responsibilities they'd been given. You're not God, Ethan. You don't get to decide who deserves what. You're right, I don't. But courts do, and social workers do, and employers do, and landlords do. I just made sure they had all the information they needed to make informed decisions. You're cruel. I'm thorough. There's a difference. She hung up, and Maria applauded slowly. Remind me never to cross you, she said. Just take care of Tyler. That's all I ask. What about you? What's next? I looked around my empty house, thought about my empty marriage, considered my empty future. I honestly don't know. For the first time in 8 years, I get to figure out what I want instead of what someone else needs. That must be terrifying. It's liberating. She gathered her purse and headed for the door. Tyler wants to say goodbye before we leave for Germany. When are you going? Next week. Fresh start for both of us. He's lucky to have you. We're both lucky to have had you. After she left, I sat in my quiet house and tried to process everything that had happened. 4 months ago, I'd been a married man with a stable life and a predictable future. Now I was divorced, alone, and responsible for destroying two people's lives. I should have felt guilty. I should have felt empty. I should have felt something other than satisfied. But satisfaction was exactly what I felt. Deep, bone-deep satisfaction. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. This is Travis. You win. Are you happy now? I typed back. I'm not happy or unhappy. I'm just done. Relinquish. Rinse with what? Done with people who hurt children. Done with people who lie and cheat and steal. Done with people who think actions don't have consequences. Misleds. You ruined my life. Manslaughter. You ruined your own life. I just made sure everyone could see it. Emberg. What kind of man does that? Carlson black eye. His split lip. His fear of disappointing a father who didn't deserve his love. I thought about Vanessa's betrayal, her public humiliation of our marriage, her willingness to enable misuse for the sake of her own happiness. The kind of man who keeps his promises, I typed back. I promised Tyler he'd be safe. I promised myself you'd face consequences. I promised Vanessa she'd understand the price of her choices. Remplid. Ransom. Now? Tyler is with his mother, where he belongs. Now, you're facing the consequences of hitting a child and driving drunk and being a deadbeat father. Now, Vanessa understands what it feels like to lose everything for someone who doesn't deserve the sacrifice. Criminal. You're sick, Regas. I'm thorough, and I'm done with this conversation. Arrests his number and deleted the thread. Then I opened my laptop and began typing. Divorce settlement agreement between Ethan Michael Dorsey and Vanessa Marie Dorsey. Close. It was time to make this official. Time to close this chapter and start writing the next one. Outside, Mrs. Phelan was walking her dog. She waved at me through the window, and I waved back. Tomorrow, I'd probably hear all the latest gossip about Travis's eviction and Vanessa's downfall. The whole town would be talking about it for months. But I wouldn't be listening. I had better things to do with my time than relive other people's failures. I had a life to rebuild, and this time, I was going to build it exactly the way I wanted it. The next morning, Tyler came to say goodbye. He hugged me tight and made me promise to email him from Germany. Will you visit? He asked. If your mom says it's okay. Unmistake. She will. She likes you. Lex. I like her too. She's a good mom. Better than Vanessa? Much better. Vanessa was never going to be your mom, buddy. She was just playing dress-up. Rejection. He nodded solemnly. I know. She didn't really want me around. She just wanted Dad to think she was nice. Well, now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Shameful. Are you going to be okay without me? Shattered. The question caught me off guard. This 8-year-old was worried about me. I'm going to be fine, Tyler. Better than fine. And you're going to be great. Germany's going to be an adventure. Restrictions. Will you still be here when I come back to visit? I'll be somewhere. And wherever I am, you'll always be welcome. Righteousness. He hugged me one more time and climbed into his mother's rental car. As they drove away, he pressed his face to the back window and waved until they were out of sight. I stood in my driveway for a long time after they left, thinking about second chances and new beginnings, and the strange ways life could surprise you. 4 months ago, I'd thought I knew exactly what my future looked like. Married to Vanessa, maybe kids someday, growing old in this house in this town, with these people. Now I had no idea what came next. But for the first time in years, that felt like a gift instead of a curse. My phone rang, my lawyer. Ethan, the divorce is final. Congratulations, you're officially a free man. Combating. How do I feel about that? Relieved. You tell me. How do you feel? Selfish. I looked at my house, my workshop, my empty driveway where Tyler had just waved goodbye. I thought about Vanessa and Travis, probably packing their remaining belongings into whatever car they could afford. I thought about the choices that had led us all to this moment. I feel like I can finally breathe again. Imprison. Good. That's good. So what's next? Raging. I'm thinking about selling the house, maybe traveling, maybe starting over somewhere new. Trolley. Sounds like a plan. Roofing. Jim, thanks for everything. You did good work. Crimson. So did you, Ethan. So did you. After I hung up, I walked through my empty house one last time. In the kitchen, I could still see Tyler doing his homework at the table. In the living room, I could still remember the morning I'd found Vanessa's Facebook post. In the bedroom, I could still feel the ghost of 8 years of marriage. But they were just ghosts now. The real people, the real pain, the real betrayal, all of that was in the past. I was 42 years old, divorced, childless, and completely alone. By most measures, I should have been devastated. Instead, I felt like I was finally awake after years of sleepwalking through someone else's dream. I pulled out my phone and started typing a text to my sister. House is going on the market next week. Time for a new adventure. Want to help me figure out where to go next? She texted back immediately. About time. Come to California. The weather's better, and the women are too. I laughed out loud, the sound echoing through my empty house. California. Why not? It was as good a place as any to start over. I walked out to my workshop and began packing my tools. Whatever came next, I'd be ready for it. And this time, I'd be building something just for me.